Hi, I'm Carl Farley with the AM/PM Guide Service and the Hooked and Travel YouTube channel. I'm here with Joclyn Leung from Angling Outfitters here in Woodstock, Ontario, and we're going to go through the Simrad units and programming them.
Alright guys, this is a Simrad Evo 3S. The Simrad Evo 3, also most features of the Evo 2 and the Simrad Go Series, they're all very similar. So we touch the screen and we're going to start setting up a unit. First thing we're going to do is set up the unit. So we hit the gear button. We're going to go check out the systems. English is good. Text size is normal. Key beeps are loud. We're going to go through this unit, go to advanced. Your unit is smart, it's built in. When you plug in an autopilot, when you plug in a radar, if you plug in a sonic hub, it'll be under features and it'll turn it on for you if it's not already turned on. So a lot of times you can either check if it's communicating or not. If it's not communicating and you have an autopilot, the check mark will not be there. The unit itself, as soon as you plug in an autopilot, it should recognize it. So first thing we're going to do is set up the Fishfinder. So we hit the page, the menu button, which is the 9 dots. We're going to go to gear button. We're going to go to echo. In where we are located in Ontario, Canada, the deepest we fish is about 300 feet of water. So we go to installation and we have search depth. When you're in Florida, you want unlimited depth. When you're in inland lakes in the USA, you want 400 feet of water. So right now we're telling this unit that we're fishing up to 400 feet, so the system will be a lot better in shallower water. So now we have to pick the transducer type. On a Go series, you would have a 3-in-1, but on a EVO series, there's 2 transducer ports. So typically the standard transducer would be the HST WSBL. Many of the consumers will buy a high-powered saltwater transducer, such as an Airmar. So if we have an Airmar, we would have a P66 as a good example, and that's a nice powerful saltwater transducer. Save. So I've told the unit I have a certain transducer. We are on the Fishfinder screen. Simrad has a very powerful sonar. We run the menu button. We go to the advanced features. We increase the scroll speed by 2 to 3 times, 3 times in this situation. We go backwards. Our ping speed is always at maximum so that the unit's pinging 6 times a second. We go to more options. The most important thing on the Simrad is setting the bottom coloring, and nobody seems to do that. So sorry, it's on demo mode, guys. So we go to bottom coloring, which shows you the hardness of the bottom beautifully. And most of our consumers find that the dark modes on the Simrad is amazing. So we go to color number 3, and I'll show you why we use color number 3 or color number 5 or color number 2, which is our dark colors. I prefer color number 3 because when you're fishing 300 feet of Lake Ontario and you go backwards, when you increase your sensitivity on a Simrad system, you can see fish further in the column a lot clearer on the dark screens. So this is really important when you're fishing really tough lakes that don't have a lot of fish on it. So when you actually see a fish and you mark it, so I'm going to mark that fish right here, this one right here. When I go to mark the fish and save it as a fish, it's going to save me a fish and tell me where it sits on the cone. So this is very important on a Simrad unit. On the dark colors, you can pick out fish further away from you. Okay? Very beautiful feature on a Simrad. Now, we've basically set up the Fishfinder. Now we're going to set up the most important screen, which is a map with the Fishfinder screen. I have my map, I have my Fishfinder. Let's set up the map first. So I touch the map side, which is orange. We hit the menu button, which is the top right 3 toolbars. We go to more options. Orientation, I prefer heading up, which is the way car GPSs work. And when we do heading up, we put look ahead. Look ahead, when you clear the screen, locks you on the bottom of the screen, and when you zoom in and you turn and drive, the boat moves, you always stay in the middle of the screen. Okay, this is very important. So this is heading up with look ahead. A lot of the charter guys would like to put a heading extension sticking in front of their boat. If you turn on the heading extension, it allows you to keep the boat straight and not yell at the wife for driving in circles. So we're going to go to the map screen. We're going to hit the top left toolbar, hit the gear button, go to chart, turn on the extension lines, course over ground, and save it. And we now have a toolbar sticking in front of the boat. And here's how it works. I touch the toolbar. So typically in real mode, it's going to have a little box here and it shows you how far it is away at what heading. So in real mode, when you move your finger, it will tell you how far it is away in a box in the corner here with the bearing on it. So in this situation, it's not showing me on the demo mode, but in real mode, when I touch the screen on the top of the toolbar, a number will show up, COG, and that way you keep the boat at that number and you won't drive in circles. Okay, many people do not know about this feature. You can customize a Simrad unit to have the toolbar tell you what it needs to tell you. So let's assume we don't have any options with our Simrad unit. We touch the right toolbar, we hit the menu button, we hit the edit button. Now I can change each thing. So I have my speed, I have my depth, I have my compass heading. I touch this feature right here, and I'm going to put time. So I got to go look for time. Time. I touch this screen right here. I might as well get some trip distance. Touch this screen because I don't have an engine interface. So I've got my speed, depth, course, time, trip distance, max speed for fun. So we go to trip. Let's go look for trip here. We go max speed, and down here we might as well put the voltmeter to make sure that everything's running well in the boat. Voltmeter. So I touch this screen here, now everything's saved. So I've just customized this screen, set up with parameters that I would like to put. I believe there's over 90 different things you can put in each box. So it gets pretty customizable. So I've set up my information on the right hand side. I've set up my orientation on the map screen. Let's play with a chart mapping that people don't seem to use properly. So we're going to zoom out. I've put a Canadian card in here, and we're going, for teaching purposes, we don't want heading up, but for mapping viewing, we want north up because it's easier for you guys to see. So we put in a Canadian Navionics Regions Plus card. If you're in Florida, you want to buy a Florida Regions Plus. If you're in Tennessee, Kentucky, buy that area card in Regions Plus. The Regions Plus is the best cards on the market from Navionics because they're preloaded with data for that area in low def and high def. 90% of our customers never turn on the good card. So I'm going to show you the good card. So we're going to go to Long Point, which is an area that we fish. We're going to turn on the Navionics card that we put into the unit. So we have Navionics turned on. This is the yucky Navionics card turned on. The low definition, which is great for people with lousy eyes like me. So we have the low definition Navionics. We hit the menu button. We go to more options. We go to chart options. And we set the safety to 6 feet. So you don't hit anything blue because that means it's shallow and you might get your boat beached on it. Okay. Now we're going to turn on the better card, which is called sonar charts. When we turn on the sonar charts and we zoom in, which I can twist with this round button, or hit the plus button, it now has every 1 foot contour. So this is the Navionics Plus card. So let me show you a little neat trick that the Simrad also does. Hit the page button. So let's create a really nice page for you. Pick the create a page button, map, Fishfinder, vertical, save it. So people with lousy eyes, such as me, we're going to put a red stop sign. We're going to put a symbol right here. It's going to be a red diving symbol. We put a red diving symbol right here. We zoom out here. We look for the red diving symbol at long point. And we go low def on this side, high def on this side. So we have an orange square around here. We hit the toolbar. We go to options. We turn on Navionics. Turn on Navionics. We set the safety depth to 6 feet. More options. Chart options. Safety depth 6 feet. And now when you're running and you have lousy eyes, you can see less detail. Now we're going to make this page bigger by hitting the power button and running the splits. Save. So we can always see our depth. So when we're running, this is the high definition and this is a low definition. It's a lot easier to see, especially when you get into the bad areas. Now we go to the split screen. This is a split screen. We hit the power button. We hit the split. I want a bigger map, smaller fish finder. I save it. Now I'm going to go back to the dark screen here, guys, because it is on demo mode. Okay, so now we're going to create a charter boat screen, because most people that buy a Simrad are very hardcore people. Hit the page button, get rid of the radar screen because we don't have a radar. Get rid of the autopilot screen because we don't have an autopilot. So I get rid of that screen. Now I create a screen. I want my map. I want my fish finder. I want my fish finder on a totally different cone angle. I want to go vertical. Map, fish finder, save. This is a screen I created. Sorry, every 4 minutes it's going to reset itself. So I touch the middle screen. I go back to the blue screen. I touch the right hand screen. I hit the menu button. I go to the dark, whoops, I had to get the orange square here. I go to the orange screen, the orange square, and I go bottom coloring. Now, right now in this demonstration mode, I'm at 19 degree cone. I'm at 8 degree cone, 50 kilohertz saltwater. So right now we have 200 kilohertz on the left side, which is 19 degrees. We touch an orange. Make sure the orange is where you touch. That means you're programming this screen, not this screen. So back to this screen. We hit this menu button. We go to frequency. We go 83. So now we have 19 degree cone, 140 degree cone. So we're trolling in a really tough lake. We're not finding any fish. We finally see a fish right here that's far away. So the red fish is close to your boat. The fish that's light white is really far from you. So watch a little nice feature that the Simrad have, which is part of the broadband. We see a large fish right here. So we have the fish marked right here. It's a bit out of the cone. We hit the check mark button. We're going to call it a yellow fish. So remember, when you save a waypoint, you can pick whatever color, and we're going to call it big fish. Big fish. We're just having fun with this. So we're going to call it big fish, and we're going to enter it. We're going to save it. That big fish is located here on the cone. So it's telling you where the fish is located. Now, let's look at that fish. I touch the fish. I hit the menu button. I go to the waypoint button. I go to edit. That fish is in 20.86 feet of water. Here's the location of the fish, and here's what time I saw it, and here's what time I caught it. Your Simrad has a full logging system that's absolutely worth millions of dollars to any charter boat captain, because a smart person will save a rock pile, a school of bait fish, a big fish, a shipwreck as the right symbol. Too many of our consumers save every waypoint as a blue dot, which is absolutely crazy because we see 5-year-old units with 10,000 blue dots. It's silly, because if you caught a big fish, put big fish. If you see rock piles, save it as a rock symbol. If you see a shipwreck or wood, save it as a shipwreck. And then have specialty symbols that you understand, because Kyle has done a good video on how to manage your waypoints. So an example would be a fish. Every time I save it as a green fish, it means really big fish. That's a secret code that you save and understand yourself. So remember, all Simrad units, when you save a waypoint, you've got your time of day. Is it a morning bite, afternoon bite, or evening bite? Time of year. Is it a spring bite, summer bite, fall bite, or winter bite? The depth. This is invaluable because this is part of your waypoint management. Save. So I've saved the fish and I now know what it is. Now let's go to our side scan and down scan. We have side scan. We see most of our consumers find the blue screen is quite a bit better, or the green screen. It's your choice. I prefer the blue. You use what color works. If you're colorblind, the green screen seems a lot more popular. So we're going to leave it on blue screen. Now we're going to program the down scan. We're also putting the down scan screen in the blue screen. Palette number 1, or I think we did color number 8. And now we're going to merge both of them together. Create the third page. Down scan, side scan. We save it. I want way bigger side scan. I hit the power button. I hit the split. I move it over. I save it. This system here is called Fish Reveal, which in real time will show you each fish on this gap here. This gap is the down scan portion of the side scan portion. Over here, we have some fish here. We're going to zoom in. I'm going to move the cursor. There's a fish there, there's a fish there, there's a fish there. We're marking the white air pockets of the air bladder. We're going to mark this fish right here. We hit the check mark button. We save it as a red fish. And we save it. There's a red fish right here that we just saved. We go back to the map screen. And we have a red fish now. And that red fish is located right here. Oops, right here. It's showing me exactly where that fish is located. Now, let's talk about saving proper waypoints. When we have a side scan and you save a fish, we zoom back out. Okay, this is a rock pile, this is a rock pile. The rock pile goes right across because the down scan can't print it out. We see a bunch of fish here. A bad person goes like this and saves a waypoint. That's no good. We're going to zoom in a couple times. 1, 2, 3. There's a fish there. There's a fish there. Possibly a fish here. So you really want to center it, because if I'm right here, if I just touch my finger here, I'm 91 feet from the center line. If I'm right here, I'm 142. You have to zoom in and mark the fish exactly where it's located if you want to go catch that fish. So please understand, use your zoom features, save a good waypoint. And don't put a blue dot on it. If this is a beautiful rock pile or a brush pile, save it as a brush pile, save it as a rock, save it as a log, or save it as a fish. It's very specific, and that's what you want to learn to do. So we know this is a fish here. It's not very big. So we hit the check mark button, and we leave it as a green fish, for example, and we save it. So we have a little fish marked right here. Okay? So that's using your side scan. Now, Lowrance and Simrad, which is the same company, has some of the very best fish finders and downscan in the world. So we're going to do a specific screen that makes it easier for people to understand what they're looking at. We're going to create 2 more pages. Map with fish finder and downscan. We're going to go vertical. We're going to save it. There's our map. There's our fish finder. There's our downscan. Touch the fish finder. Press the menu, go back to color number 3, and have the bottom coloring, and clear cursor. So this is side by side. This allows you to see the hardness of the bottom. This allows you to see the weeds. This allows you to see logs sitting on the bottom beside a 2D sonar. So in fisherman's talk, this is 2D sonar, this is 3D downscan. Now we're going to create a bigger screen because we already got to our fishing spot. So we hit the page button, and we create the last page, which is fish finder and downscan a lot larger, so we can reference it better. So this is showing you the hardness of the bottom. This is showing you the bait fish. There's a lot of little bait fish sitting on top of the rock here. So it's a lot clearer and it's a lot easier for people to understand. So this is fish revealed down scan in real time. This is 2D sonar. So your clarity is quite a bit different, so it's easier to reference. Now, this is not exactly a good example because we've increased the chart speed on the sonar portion of it. So if we slow it down, scroll speed we put back to normal. 1, 2. So we put the scroll speed the same speed as this screen back. So right now you can't increase the speed of the down scan, so we put the down scan speed the same as the side sonar on the same screen. That's using your Simrad. We're going to do more videos in the future, but right now we're just going to keep it simple on how to basically set up your Simrad very comfortably.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our video today. We're going to be doing more low-rent stuff and other Fishfinder videos coming at you. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day.